How to design a group coaching program that your clients will want to enroll into. Let's talk about this today. A lot of coaches get stuck doing one-on-one calls for years because they don't know how to create a group coaching program. They think that if they create a group coaching program, that their clients will get less of them, that they think less people will want to enroll, and that they'll have to have lower prices. None of those things are true. You don't have to have any of that, and you don't have to sacrifice anything. Everything can get better. Your prices can go up, and your clients can get better results if you structure it the right way. So let's talk about what you need to do. Here's what most coaches do. What they do is they end up creating a one-on-one coaching program, and then they're coaching clients one-on-one. They start to get a bunch of clients. They have this huge spot on their calendar that's taken up by servicing these one-on-one clients. Then they've got to do sales or enrollment calls, and then they got to do some sort of marketing. And the problem is it creates this up-down cycle of income because you do a bunch of sales calls. Then now you have to help coach all these clients that you got. And so what suffers? Your marketing. Then once your clients drop down and you have less clients, you go back to your marketing and you hustle for marketing. Coaches hustle out there and do their marketing, maybe up their ads, podcast posts, whatever it is they're doing. Get some clients in the door, do a bunch of sales calls, get a bunch of clients. And then it's horrible. And then they think, well, boy, I can't really do one-on-one or group calls because nobody will want to join. They like my service. And here's all this kind of stuff. Here's the first problem. I'm going to talk about 3 big inherent problems with one-on-one coaching. And then we're going to talk about how to structure a group coaching program so that it gives incredible value and you can charge more. The biggest problem with one-on-one coaching is, as a coach, you're going to spend like 80% of your time talking about the same thing to everybody. You're going to have some differences depending on who you talk to, but the majority of what you're going to talk to is totally the same. So you're going to be repeating yourself again and again and again. The second problem is already what we talked about. It's going to create this up-down cycle in your business of marketing, sales, enrollments, and it's just going to be all over the place. There's going to be no consistency because it all depends on where you're at with your client cycles. Do you have lots of clients? Well, then you're not going to be doing a lot of enrollment calls. You're not going to be doing any marketing type thing. And then it all shifts again. Okay? That's the second inherent problem. The third problem with one-on-one coaching is you're not giving people the value of hearing other people's perspectives from another dimension. Okay? We're going to get back to that. Now, how we create a good coaching program is this. The first thing you need to do is you need to realize that it can and most likely will be more valuable than a one-on-one coaching. Why is that? Well, for the reason that I just mentioned. Think about this for a second. When we're one-on-one, you're only asking questions that you think about, that kind of thing like that. And likewise, then what happens is, the next thing that happens is when you have a group program, I'm asking questions, and then 5 or 6 other people are asking questions, but they're going to be different questions from different perspectives, and maybe they're at different places in their program. All these kind of different things are happening. So me as a client, I'm getting all this learning from totally different dimensions, which is going to accelerate the speed at which I understand it because I'm hearing from all these other people, and now it's accelerating it. So for that reason alone, I would argue that your group coaching program is essentially more valuable than one-on-one, and in terms of pricing as well. Now, number 2, the coaching program can be just as effective, if not more effective, than having one-on-one if you design it properly. So how do you design it? Well, ideally, in most situations, you're going to have a training area where all your training is going to go. Then you're going to have some support by email or in a Facebook group, either or both. And then you're going to have your weekly group calls. So it's getting them to use all that stuff versus reteaching them stuff every one-on-one call. Now I want to apologize. I'm chewing on a thing to help my throat. I had pneumonia, and so it's I cough a lot. So I apologize. Now, so with that aspect, what happens now is when you think about it, it just diversifies it a lot more. So all of it's not reliant on you. Now, the next thing you need to do with designing it is think about how you can potentially, doesn't have to happen right away, but do you have all-star clients who are in your system who also could potentially be coaches? Because the cool thing is you can bring them on as part-time coaches to have a second call, maybe on a subtopic that you're working on. And that way it will help give even more value to your coaching program when you have people who are really good at what they're doing also providing value to everybody else. So are you starting to see how the process can make it so that it can actually be worth more than one-on-one? Here is the other thing you need to do. The other thing you need to do is you can systematize it through videos like Loom. So that way you can just create custom videos. And every time you create a video for a client, don't say their name, just say, hey, here's how you fix this problem. And then you're building a library of content for your ideal client. Now, before we go any further, what I need you to do is I need you to like this post so that I know you liked it, or this video, that I know you liked it, and hit the subscribe button because I have a pile of more videos coming down out that are going to hopefully help you get more clients and grow your coaching program. I don't want you to miss any of them because there's some big ones that can really help you a lot. Okay, so click the subscribe button. Also, down in the bottom, in the pinned comment, there's a link to a webinar that I have on how to get clients who have money and who are qualified, or how I've been doing it using a certain type of 300-word ad template. Okay, so I'd encourage you to do that when the video's over. Now let's get back to it. So what do you do when people in your coaching or prospects ask you if they can do one-on-one, or they basically feel that like, oh, this is a group coaching program, I don't really want a group coaching program? Let's deal with the first situation, or the first question first, okay? So how do you do it with pricing, okay? And any resistance? Well, you just basically tell them, hey, here's how this works. Here's what you're gonna get. It's gonna be a call every week on Zoom on, Thursday at noon, and you're gonna get all this value, plus you're gonna get all the feedback from others. Not necessarily they're gonna go through your stuff because they're still learning too, but you're gonna hear all their questions, you're gonna hear all their feedback, and it's gonna accelerate the speed that you get this times 10 potentially, depending on how many people are there. So you need to help them understand that. And then eventually, if you have other coaches, you can help them understand that you have multiple calls. And you're on that call, excuse me, until there is no more questions answered. That should help it with that. And then the issue of the one-on-one, if there are questions and stuff like that, you can have a one-on-one price point then, but whatever your group price point is, say your group price point is $3,000 or $4,000, well, now you can just say double the price for your one-on-ones. Look, it's $8,000. But it's not necessary. I think you should do the group coaching. And you're going to get all the value. You're going to get everything out of it. Plus, you're going to get, hear from everybody, all these things. So I would do it that way so that the people on your calls can feel like it's got a lot more value, and it's just kind of a no-brainer. It's like, why would I want to do the one-on-one when I can do the group coaching program and have all this value? So hopefully you can see, because the biggest thing you have to do as a coach is you have to spend time getting new clients, and a significant amount of time, right? Because what's going to happen is, as it happens to almost every coach, is if you have a pent up demand online, well, you run out of people who are interested in your stuff, right? Because you can only go to your LinkedIn connections so many times and tell them about your coaching program or your friends on Facebook or your followers wherever. So eventually you're going to have to go on ads, you're going to have to do all that kind of stuff. That's going to take time. And the problem is, excuse me, the problem is if half your week is filled with coaching calls, you cannot grow your business, okay? And it will really suffer and you'll end up burning out. And that's really what most coaches deal with. So by doing it this way, it's going to give you a lot more leverage. You can grow faster. And when you have successful students, you're going to be able to put those students who are really good on there, or maybe have a couple extra calls for people. This gives even more value potentially, if that works out. One of the things you don't do that a lot of coaches do is they're like, oh, you're a struggling client of mine. I think you're a great person. Why don't I make you a coach? And I'll coach you for free and you run one of my weekly calls. Bad idea, right? Because they need to be good at it. So make sure they're good at it. All right. Make sure you subscribe to the videos. Click the like button. And then go to the bottom down there in the comments and hit that and get registered for my upcoming webinar and getting clients using my snowball, how I'm getting qualified coaching clients using my 300-word ad template and snowball system. All right, take care. We'll see you in the webinar.